Hey! All you idle creatures, get you home! Is this a holiday? What? You know not? Being mechanical, you ought not walk upon a laboring day without the sign of your profession? Speak! What art thou?
Why, sir, a carpenter.
Where's thy leather apron and thy rule? What dost thou with thy best apparel on? You! Sir, what trade are you?
Truly, sir, in respect of a fine workman, I am but what you would say, a cobbler.
But what trade art thou? Answer me directly.
A trade, sir, that I hope I may use with a safe conscience, which is, indeed, sir, mender of bad souls.
What meanest thou by that? Mend me, thou saucy fellow!
Why, sir, cobble you?
Thou art a cobbler, art thou?
Truly, sir, all that I live by is with the all. I meddle with no tradesman's matters, nor woman's matters, but though I am indeed, sir, a surgeon to old shoes. When they are in great danger, I recover them.
But wherefore art thou not in thy shop today? Why dost thou lead these men about the streets?
Why, sir, truly to wear out their shoes, to get myself into more work. But indeed, sir, we make holiday to see Caesar and rejoice in his triumph.
Wherefore rejoice? What conquests brings he home? What tributaries follow him to Rome to grace in captive bonds his chariot wheels? You blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless things. Oh, you hard hearts, you cruel men of Rome, knew you not Pompey? Many a time and oft have you climbed up to walls and battlements, to towers and windows, yea, to chimney tops, your infants in your arms, and there have sat the livelong day with patient expectation to see great Pompey pass the streets of Rome. And when you saw his chariot but appear, have you not made a universal shout that Tiber trembled underneath her banks to hear the replication of your sounds made in her concave shores? And do you now put on your best attire? And do you now call out a holiday? And do you now strew flowers in his way that comes in triumph over Pompey's blood? Be gone! Run to your houses, fall upon your knees, pray to the gods to intermit the plague that needs must light on this ingratitude.
Go, go, good countrymen. And for your fault, assemble all the poor men of your sort. Draw them to Tiber banks. Weep your tears into the channel, till the lowest stream do kiss the most exalted shores of all. They vanish tongue-tied in their guiltiness. Go you down that way toward the capital. This way will I. Disrobe the ceremonies if you do find them decked.
May we do so? You know it is the Feast of Lupercal.
That is no matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. I'll about and drive the vulgar from the streets. So do you too, where you perceive them thick. These growing feathers, plucked from Caesar's wing, will make him fly an ordinary pitch. Who else would soar but the few of men and keep us all in servile fearfulness?
Calphurnia!
Peace, ho! Caesar speaks.
Calphurnia!
Here, my lord.
Stand you directly in Antonius' way when he doth run his course. Antonius!
Caesar.
Forget not in your speed to touch Calphurnia, for our elders say the baron, touch it in this holy chase, shake off their sterile curse.
I shall remember. When Caesar says do this, it is performed.
Set on, and leave no ceremony out.
Peace, ho again.
Who is it in the press that calls on me? I hear a voice, shriller than all the music, cries Caesar. Speak! Caesar is turned to hear.
Beware the Ides of March.
What voice is that?
A soothsayer. Bid you beware the Ides of March.
Set her before me, let me see her face.
Sister, come from the throng, look upon Caesar.
Beware the Ides of March.
She is a dreamer, let us leave her. Pass!
Will you go to see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you.
I am not so gamesome. I do lack some part of that quick spirit that is in Antony. Let me not hinder, Cassius, your desires. I'll leave you.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I've not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend that loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I availed my looks, I turned the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late with passions of some difference, conceptions only proper to myself. Let not therefore my good friends be grieved, among which number, Cassius, be you one. Nor construe any further my neglect than that poor Brutus, with himself at war, forgets the shows of love to other friends.
Therefore I've much mistook your passions, Brutus, by means whereof this breast of mine had very thoughts of great value, worthy cogitations. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees but itself by reflection, by some other things.
'Tis just, and it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye, that you might see your shadow self. I've heard where many of the best respect in Rome, except immortal Caesar, speaking of Brutus, and groaning underneath this age's yoke, had wished that noble Brutus had his eyes.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius? That you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me?
Therefore be prepared to hear. And since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself that you yet know not of.
What means this shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
Aye, do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so.
I would not, Cassius. Yet I love him well. But wherefore do you keep me here so long? What is it that you wish to impart to me? If it all be toward the general good, set honor in one eye and death in the other, and I will look on both indifferently. For let the gods so speed me as I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I do know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward favor. While honor is the subject of my story, I cannot tell what you and other men think of this life, but for my single self, I had as lief not be, as live to be in awe of such a thing as I myself. I was born free as Caesar, so were you. We both have fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold as well as he. For once upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber chafing with her shores, Caesar said to me, "Darest thou, Cassius, now leap in with me into this angry flood and swim to yonder point." Upon the word, accoutred as I was, I plunged in and bade him follow, so indeed he did. The torrent roared, and we did buffet it with lusty sinews, throwing it aside and stemming it with hearts of controversy. But ere we could arrive the point proposed, Caesar cried to me, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink." I, as Aeneas, our great ancestors did, from the flames of Troy, upon his shoulder the old Anchises bear, did I, the tired Caesar, and this man is now become a god, and Cassius is a wretched creature who must bend her body if Caesar carelessly, but not on her. He had a fever when he was in Spain, and when the fits were on him, I did mark how he did shake. 'Tis true, this god did shake. Aye, and that tongue of his that bade the Romans mark his words and write his speeches. Alas, it cried, give me some drink, Titinius, as a sick girl. You gods, it doth amaze me a man of such a feeble temper should get the start of the majestic whirl and bear the palm alone.
Another general shout. I do believe these applauses are for some new honors heaped upon Caesar.
My man, he doth bestride in our world, and we like the colossus walk under his huge legs to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men at some time are masters of their fate. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar, what should be in that Caesar? Why should his name be sounded more than yours? Write them together. Yours is a fair name. Sound them, it doth become the mouse as well. Weigh them. Yours is as heavy. Conjure with him. Brutus will start his spirit as soon as Caesar. Knowing the names of all the gods at once, upon what meat doth this our Caesar feed, that he is grown so great? Age, thou art shamed. Rome, thou hast lost the breed of noble bloods. When went there by an age since the great flood, but it was famed with more than with one man? When can they say till now that talked of Rome, that her wide walks encompassed with one man? Now is it Rome indeed, and room enough, when there is in it but one only man?
That you do love me, I am nothing jealous. How I have thought of this, and of these times I shall recount hereafter. For the present, I would not. So, with love, I might entreat you be any further moved. What you have said, I will consider. Friend, chew upon this. Brutus would rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome under these hard conditions as this time is like to bring upon us.
I am glad that my weak words have struck but this much show of fire from Brutus.
The games are done and Caesar is returning.
As they pass by, pluck Caska by the sleeve, and he will, after his sour fashion, tell us what had preceded wordy notes.
I will do so, but Cassius, look you. The angry spot doth glow on Caesar's brow, and all the rest look like a chidden train.
Caska will tell us what the matter is.
Antonius!
Caesar, my lord.
Let me have men about me that are fat. Ah, sleek-headed men, and such as sleep o' nights. Young Cassius has a lean and hungry look. She thinks too much. Such ones are dangerous.
Oh, she is not dangerous. She is a noble Roman and well given.
Would she were fatter. Ha ha! But I fear her not. Yet if my name were liable to fear, I do not know the one I should avoid so soon as that spare Cassius. She reads much. She is a great observer and looks quite through the deeds of men. She loves no plays, as thou dost, Antony. She hears no music. Seldom she smiles, and smiles in such a sort. as if she mocked herself, and scorned her spirit that could be moved to smile at anything. Such ones as she be never at heart's ease when they behold a greater than themselves, and therefore are they very dangerous. Well, I rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear, for always I am Caesar. Come on my right hand, for this here is death, and tell me truly what thou thinkst of her.
You pulled me by the cloak. You would speak with me?
Ah, Caska, tell us what it chanced to be that Caesar looked so sad.
Well, you were with him, were you not?
I should not then ask Caska what hath chanced.
Why, there was a crown offered him, and being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand, thus, and the people fell a shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too.
They shouted thrice. What was the last cry for?
Why, for that too.
Was the crown offered him thrice?
I am married, was it? And he put it by thrice, every time gentler than the other, and every time the honest neighbor shouted.
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Mark Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Caska.
I can as well be hanged as tell a manner of it. It was mere foolery, I did not mark it. I saw Mark Antony give him the crown. Yet it was not a crown neither, it was one of those coronets. And as I said, he put it by once, but for all that, to my thinking, he fain would have had it. And he offered it a second time, and he put it by a second time. And to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers off it. And he was offered it a third time, and he put it a third time by. And still, as he refused the crown, all the rabblement hooted, clapped their chopped hands, threw up their sweaty nightcaps, and uttered such a deal of stinking breath because Caesar refused the crown that it nearly choked Caesar, for he swooned and fell down at it. Now, for mine own part, I durst not laugh for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
But soft, I pray you. What? Did Caesar swoon?
He fell down in the marketplace, foamed at the mouth, and was speechless.
'Tis very like he hath the falling sickness.
No, Caesar hath it not. But you and I and honest Caska, we have the falling
But
sickness.
Mary, before he fell down, when he perceived the common herd were glad that he refused the crown, he opened his doublet and offered me his throat to cut. Now, if I were a man of any occupation, I did not take him at a word. I would I might go to hell among the rogues. And so, he fell. And when he came to himself again, he said, if he had done or said anything amiss, he desired the worships. He desired the worships to think it was his infirmity. Now, 3 or 4 wenches near where I stood cried, alas, poor soul, and forgave them with all their hearts. But I would take no heed of them, for if Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less.
And after that, he came thus sad away?
I
Did Cicero say anything?
spoke Greek.
What effect?
And I tell you that, I never looked you in the face again. But those who understood him smiled and nodded their heads. But for mine own part, it was Greek to me. Oh, I have Brutus too. Murellus and Flavius, for pulling scarves off of Caesar's images, have been put to silence. There was more foolery yet, if I can remember it.
Will you sup with me tonight, Caska?
Aye, if I be alive, and your mind sound, and your dinner worth the eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell both.
What a blunt fellow is this grown to be.
This rudeness is a sauce to his good wit, which gives men's stomach to better digest his words with good appetite.
'Tis very like. For this time, I will leave you. Tomorrow, if it please you to speak with me, I will come home to you. Or, if you will, come home to me, and I will wait for you.
I will. Till then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble. Yet I see thy honorable metal may be wrought from that which is disposed. I will this night in several hands, in at his windows throw, several writings, as if they came from citizens, all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds of his names, whereof securely Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. And after that, let Caesar seat him sure, or we will shake him, or worse, days endure.
Good evening, Caska. Brought you Caesar home. Why are you breathless? And why stare you so?
Are you not moved when the sway of earth shakes like a thing unfirm? Huh, Cicero, I have seen tempests where the scolding winds have rived the knotty oaks. I have seen the ambitious ocean rage and swell and foam to be exalted by the threatening clouds, but never till tonight, never till now, have I been through a tempest dropping fire. Either there is civil strife in heaven, or the earth, too saucy for the gods, incenses them to send destruction.
Why, saw you anything more wonderful?
Against the Capitol, I met a lion who blazed at me and walked surlily by without annoying me. Drawn upon the heap were 100 ghastly women, transformed by their fear, who swore they saw men all in flame walk up and down the streets. And yesterday, the bird of night, even at noonday, sat in the market square, hooting and shrieking. When these prodigies do so conjointly meet, let no man say, these are the reasons, they are natural. For I believe there are portentous things unto the climate that we draw upon.
Indeed, it is a strange disposed time. But men may construe things after their fashion, clean from the purpose of the things themselves. Comes Caesar to the Capitol tomorrow?
He does. And he did bid Antonius give word to tell you that he would be there.
Good night then, Cassius. This disturbed sky is not to walk in.
Farewell, Cicero.
Who's there?
A Roman?
Caska by your voice.
Who knew the heavens just move so much?
Those that know the earth so full of falls. For my part, I've walked about the streets submitting me unto this perilous night, and thus on a braced Caska, as you see, have bared my bosom to the thunderstone. And when the cross blue lightning seemed to open up the breast of heaven, I did present myself, even in the very aim and flesh of it.
But why do you so much tempt the heavens? It is the part of man to fear and tremble when the most mighty gods by token send such dreadful heralds to astonish us.
You are dull, Caska. And those sparks of life that should be in a Roman you do want. But if you would consider the true cause, why all these fires, why all these gliding coasts, why birds and beasts from quality and kind, why old men, fools, and children calculate, why all these things change from their ordinance, their natures and performing faculties, while you shall find that heaven hath infused them with these spirits to make them instruments of fear and warning onto some monstrous quality. Now can I, Caska, name to thee a man most like this night, that thunders, lightens, opens graves and roars at God the Lion in the Capitol? A man no mightier than thyself or me in personal action yet, prodigious groans, and fearful as these strange eruptions are.
It's a Caesar that you speak of, is it not, Cassius? Indeed, they say the senators mean to establish him as king, and he shall wear his crown by land and sea through all of Italy.
I know well where this Sagradan, Cassius from bondage, will deliver Cassius. No stony tower, no walls of beaten brass, no airless dungeon, Those strong links of iron can be retentive to the strength of spirit, but life, being weary of these worldly bars, never lacks such power to dismiss itself.
So every bondsman in his own hands has the power to cancel his captivity.
Why should Caesar be a tyrant then? Poor man, he would not be a wolf, but that he sees the Romans are but sheep. He were no lion, were not Romans hinds. Those that will haste would make a mighty fire, beginneth with weak straws. What trash is Rome? What rubbish and what offal when it serves as the base matter to illuminate so vile a thing as Caesar! Oh, grief! Where hast thou led me? I perhaps speak this before a willing bondman? Then I know my answer must be made. For I am armed, and dangers to me are indifferent.
You speak to Caska, and to such a man, this is no fleering telltale. Hold my hand, and be factious in your redress of these grievances, and I will step my foot as far as who goes farthest.
There's a bargain made!
Stand close a while. Someone comes here in haste.
'Tis Cinna. I do know him by his gait. He is a friend. Cinna, where haste you so?
To find out you. Who's that, Metella?
No. This is Caska, one incorporate to our attempts. Am I not stayed for a Cinna?
I'm glad on it. What a fearful night is this. There's 2 or 3 of us have seen strange sights.
Am I not stayed for a Cinna? Tell me.
Oh, yes, you are. Cassius, if you could but win the noble Brutus to our party.
Be you content, Cinna. Good Cinna. Take you this paper, and look you late in the praetor's chair where Brutus may find it. Throw this in at his window. Set this up with wax onto old Brutus's statue. All that done, repair to Pompey's porch where you shall find us. Is Decius, Brutus, and Trebonius there?
Oh, all but Metella, and he's gone to seek you at your house. Well, I will hie, and so bestow these papers as you bade me.
All that done, repair to Pompey's theater. Come, Caska. You and I will yet ere day see Brutus at his house. 3 parts of him is ours already. The man in Tyre upon the next encounter yields him out.
Oh, he sits high in all the people's hearts. And that which would cause offense in us, his countenance like richest alchemy will turn to worthiness and virtue.
Him and his worth and our great need of him you have right well conceited. Let us go, for it is after midnight, and yet ere day we will wake him and be sure of him.
Blood Lucius! Ho!
I cannot by the progress of the stars get guess now how near today.
Lucius!
I say.
Would it were my own fault to sleep so soundly. When, Lucius, when? Awake, I say! What, Lucius?
Called you, my lord?
Give me a taper in my study. When it is lighted, Lucius, come and call me here.
I will, my lord.
It must be by his death. For my part, I know no personal cause to spurn it before the general. He would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there's the question. 'Tis the bright day that brings forth the adder that craves wary walking. Crown him that, and then I grant we put a sting in him that at his will he may do danger with. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins remorse from power. To speak truth of Caesar, I have not known when his affections swayed more than his reason, but 'tis a common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder. Wherefore the climber upward turns his face. But when he once attains the upmost round, he then unto the ladder turns his back, looks in the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend. So Caesar may. then lest he may prevent? Since the quarrel will bear no colour for the thing he is, fashion it thus, that what he is augmented will run to these and these extremities, and therefore think him as a serpent's egg, which hatched would as his kind grow mischievous, and kill him in the shell.
Sir, the taper burneth in your closet. Searching the window for a flint, I found this paper thus sealed up, and I am sure it did not lie there when I went to bed.
Get you to bed again, it is not day. Is not Lloyd tomorrow the Ides of March?
I know not, sir.
Look in the calendar and bring me word. The exhalations whizzing in the air give so much light that I may read by them. Brutus, thou sleepst awake, and see thyself. Shall Rome, etc., speak, strike, redress. Brutus, thou sleepst awake. Shall Rome stand under one man's awe? What Rome? My ancestors did from the streets of Rome the Tarquin drive when he would be called a king. Speak, strike, redress. Am I entreated to speak and strike? O Rome, I make thee promise, if the redress will follow, thou receive thy full petition at the hand of Brutus.
Sir, March has wasted 15 days.
'Tis good. Go to the gate, somebody knocks. Since Cassius first had wed me against Caesar, I have not slept. Between the action of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all the interim is like a phantasma or a hideous dream. The genius and the mortal instruments are then in council, and the state of man, like to a little kingdom, suffers the nature of an insurrection.
Sir, 'tis your sister Cassius at the door who doth desire to see you.
Is she alone?
No, sir, there are more with her.
Do you know them?
I know not, sir. Their hats are plucked about their ears, and half their faces buried in their cloaks, that by no means I may discover them by any mark of favor.
Let him enter. They are the faction. O conspiracy, shamest thou to show thy dangerous brow by night when evils are most free? Oh, then by day where wilt thou find a cavern dark enough to mask thy monstrous visage? Seek none conspiracy. Hide it in smiles and affability to hide thee from prevention.
I think we are to bold upon your rest. Good morrow, Brutus. Do we trouble you?
I have been up this hour, awake all night. Know I these men that come along with you?
Yes, every man of them, and no man here but honors you, and every one doth wish you had but that opinion of yourself, which every noble Roman bears. This is my Decius.
He is welcome hither.
This, Caska. This, Cinna. This, Trebonius.
They are all welcome.
Shall I entreat a word?
Here lies the east. Does the day not break here?
No.
Pardon, sir, it doth, and yon great lines that do fret the clouds are messengers of day.
You shall soon confess that you were both deceived. Here, as I point my sword, the sun arises, which is a great way growing in the south. A couple of months hence, higher up in the north, he first presents his spire, and in the high east, the capital stands directly here.
Give me your hands all over, one by one.
Let us swear our resolution.
No! Not an oath. If not the face of men, the sufferance of our souls, the times of use. If these be motives, we break off betimes, and each man hence to his idle bed. So let high-sighted tyranny range on, till each man drop by lottery. But if these as I'm sure they do, they're fire enough to kindle cowards, and to steel with valor the melting spirits of women than countrymen. What need we any spur but our own cause to prick us to redress? What other bond than secret Romans that have spoke the word and will not falter? What other oath than honesty, to honesty engaged, and this shall be, or we will fall for it? Swear priests, cowards, and men cautelous, old feeble carrions, and such suffering souls that welcome wrongs, unto bad causes swear such creatures as men doubt. But do not stain the even virtue of our enterprise, nor the insuppressive metal of our spirits, to think that o'er our cause, or our performance did need an oath, when every drop of blood that every Roman bears, and nobly bears, is guilty of a several bastardy, if he do break the smallest particle of any promise that hath passed from him. Who?
What of Cicero? Shall we sound him?
Let us have him, for his silver hairs will purchase his good opinion, and buy men's voices to commend our deeds. It shall be said, his judgment ruled our hands. All youth and wildness shall no whit appear but be buried in his gravity.
No, name him not. Let us not break with him, for he will never follow anything that other men begin.
And leave him out.
Indeed, he is not.
Shall no man else be touched but only Caesar?
Ah, Decius, well urged. I think it is not meet Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. We shall find of him a shrewd contriver, and you know his means. If he improves them, may stretch so far as to annoy us all, which to prevent, let Antony and Caesar fall together.
Our course will seem too bloody, Cassius. To cut the head off, and then hack the limbs, like wrath and death and envy afterwards. For Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let's be sacrificers, but not butchers, Caius. We all stand up against the spirit of Caesar, and in the spirit of men there is no blood. Oh, that we could come by Caesar's spirit and not dismember Caesar. But alas, Caesar must bleed for it. And gentle friends, let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. Let's carve him as a dish fit for the gods, not hew him as a carcass fit for hounds. And as for Mark Antony, think not of him. For he can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off.
Yes, I fear him for the engrafted love he bears towards Caesar.
Alas, good Cassius, think not of him. If he love Caesar, all that he can do is to himself. Take thought and die for Caesar. And as much as well he should, for he is given to sports, to wildness, and much company.
There is no fear in him. Let him not die, for he will live and laugh at this hereafter.
Peace. Count the clock.
Clock is striking 3.
It is time to part.
But it is doubtful yet whether Caesar will come forth today or no, for he is superstitious grown of late, quite from the main opinion he once held of fantasies, of dreams and ceremonies. It may be these apparent prodigies, the unaccustomed terror of this night, or the persuasion of his auguries may hold him from the capital today.
Never fear that. If he be so resolved, I cannot sway him. For he loves to hear that unicorns may be betrayed with trees, and bears with glasses, elephants with holes, lions with toils, and men with flatterers. But when I tell him he hates flatterers, he says he does, being then the most flattered. Let me work, for I can give his humor the true bent, and I will bring him to the capital.
Nay, we will all of us be there to fetch him.
At the 8th hour, is at the uttermost.
Be that the uttermost, and fail not then.
The morning comes upon Brutus. We leave you.
Let not our looks put on our purposes, but bear it as our Roman actors do, with untired spirits and formal constancy. And so, good morrow to everyone. Boy! Lucius! Fast asleep. Ah. It is no matter. Enjoy the honey-heavy dew of slumber. Thou hast no figures, nor no fantasies, which busy care draws in the brains of men. Therefore thou sleepst so sound.
Rise, my lord.
Portia, what mean you? Wherefore you rise now? It is not for your health to thus commit your sweet condition to the raw cold morning.
Nor for yours neither. You've ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed, and yesternight at supper you suddenly arose and walked about musing and sighing with your arms across, and when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further, and you scratched your head, and too impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet I insisted, yet you answered not, but with an angry wafture of your hand gave sign for me to leave you. So I did, fearing to strengthen that impatience which seemed too much enkindled, and withal hoping it was but an effect of humor which sometime hath its hour with every man. I will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep, and could work so much upon your shape as it hath much prevailed on your condition I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am ill at health. That is all.
Brutus is wise, and were he ill in health, he would embrace the means to come by it.
And so I do. Good Portia, go to bed.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical to walk embrace it and suck up the humors of the dank morning? What? Is Brutus sick? Will he steal out of his wholesome bed to dare the vile contagion of the night, and tempt the rheumy and unpurged air to add unto his sickness? No. My Brutus, you have some sick offense within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of. And upon my knees, I charm you by my once commended beauty, by all your vows of love. And that great vow, which should incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me. Yourself, your half, why you were heavy. What men tonight have had resort to you? For here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from darkness.
Kneel not, gentle Portia.
I should not need if you were gentle, Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it accepted I should know no secrets that appertain to you? Am I yourself, but as it were in sort or limitation, to keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, talk to you sometimes? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure? If it be no more, Portia is Brutus' harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife. As dear to me as are the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If this were true, then should I know the secret. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman that Lord Brutus took to wife. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman well reputed, Cato's daughter. Think you I am no stronger than my sex, being so fathered and so husbanded? Tell me your counsels. I will not disclose them. I have made strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound here in the thigh. Can I bear that with patience and not my husband's secret?
Oh, you gods, render me noble of this worthy life. Portia, thy bosom shall partake all the secrets of my heart. All my engagements I will construe to thee.
Wait, what? What, you can't... No. I prithee, boy, run to the Senate house. Stay not to answer me, but get thee gone. Why dost thou stay?
To know my errand, madam.
I would have had thee there, and here again, ere I can tell thee what thou shouldst do there. Oh, constancy be strong. Upon my side set a huge mountain between my heart and tongue. Art thou here yet?
Madam, what should I do? Run to the capital and nothing else, and so return to you and nothing else?
Yes. Bring me word, boy, if thy lord look well, for he went sickly forth. And take good note what Caesar doth, what suitors press to him. Hark! What noise is that?
I hear none, madam.
Prithee, listen well. Heard a bustling rumor like a fray, and the wind brings it forth from the capital.
Sooth, madam, I hear nothing.
Come hither, fellow. Which way hast thou been?
At mine own house, good lady.
What is o'clock?
About the 9th hour.
Lady, is Caesar yet gone to the capital?
Madam, not yet. I go to take my stand to see him pass on to the capital.
What? Thou hast a suit to Caesar?
That I have, lady. If it will please Caesar to be so good to Caesar as to hear me, I shall beseech him to befriend himself.
Why? Knowst thou any harms intended towards him?
None that I know will be. Much that I fear may chance. Good morrow to you. Here the street is narrow. The throng that follow Caesar at the heels of senators, of praetors, common suitors will crowd a feeble man almost to death. I'll get me to a place more void and there speak to great Caesar as he comes along.
Let's go. Brutus hath a suit that Caesar will not grant. Oh, I heard faint. Run, Lucius, and commend me to my lord. Say I am married. Come to me again, and bring me word what he doth say to me.
Nor heaven nor earth have been at peace. The night thrice at Calphurnia in their sleep cried out, "Help, ho, they murder Caesar!" Who's within?
My lord.
Go be the priest to present sacrifice and bring me their opinions of success.
I will, my lord.
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to walk forth? You shall not stir out of your house today.
Caesar shall forth. The things that threatened me ne'er looked but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they frighten me. There is one within, besides the things that we have heard and seen, recounts most horrid sights seen upon the watch. A lioness had whelped in the streets, and graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. Fierce, fiery warriors fought upon the clouds in ranks and squadrons and right form of war, which drizzled blood upon the capital. The noise of battle hurtled through the air. Horses did neigh, dying men did groan, and ghosts did shriek and squeal about the streets. Oh, Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall go forth, for these predictions are to the world in general as to Caesar.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders that I yet have heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. What say the augurs?
They would not have you to stir forth today. Plucking the entrails of an offering forth, they could not find the heart within the beast.
The gods do this in shame of cowardice. Caesar should be a beast without a heart if he should stay at home today for fear. No, Caesar shall not. Danger knows full well that Caesar is more dangerous than he. We are two lions littered in one day, and I, the elder and more terrible. And Caesar shall go forth.
Alas, my lord, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear. That keeps you in the house and not your own. We'll send Mark Antony to the Senate House, and he shall say you are not well today. Let me, upon my knee, prevail in this.
Mark Antony shall say I am not well, and for thy humor I will stay at home. Here's Decius Brutus, he shall tell them so.
Caesar, all hail. Good morrow, worthy Caesar. I've come to fetch you to the Senate House.
And you are come in very happy time to bear my greeting to the senators and tell them that I will not come today. Cannot is false, and that I dare not falser. I will not come today. Tell them so, Decius.
He is sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Have I in conquest stretched mine arm so far to be afeard to tell grey beards the truth? Decius, go tell them Caesar will not come.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is in my will. I will not come. Ha ha! That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know. Calphurnia here, my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight she saw my statue, which, like a fountain with 100 spouts, did run pure blood. And many lusty Romans came smiling and bathed their hands in it. And these does she apply for warnings and portents. And evils imminent, and on her knee hath begged that I will stay at home today.
This dream is all misinterpreted. It was a vision fair and fortunate. Your statue, spouting blood in many pipes, in which so many smiling Romans bathe, signifies that from you great Rome shall suck reviving blood, and that men shall press for tinctures, stains, relics, and cognizance. This, by Calphurnia's dream, is signified.
And this way have you well expounded it.
I have, when you have heard what I can say, and know it now. The Senate have concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word you will not come, their minds may change. Besides, it were a mock apt to be rendered for someone to say, break up the Senate till another time when Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams. If you shall send word, or if Caesar shall hide himself, shall they not whisper, lo, Caesar is afraid? Pardon me, Caesar, for my dear, dear love to your proceeding bids me tell you this, and reason to my love is liable.
How foolish seem your fears now, Calphurnia. I am ashamed I did yield to them. Give me my robe, for I will go. Welcome, Metellus! What, Brutus, are you stirred so early too? Good morrow, Caska. What is the clock?
Just struck at 8, Caesar.
I thank you for your pains and courtesy. See Antony, that revels long o' nights. Aha! Good morrow, Antony.
So to most noble Caesar.
Bid them prepare within. I am to blame to be thus waited for. I have an hour's talk in store for you. Remember that you call on me today. Be near me that I may remember you. Good friends, go in and taste some wine with me, and we, like friends, will straightway go together.
But every like is not the same. Oh, Caesar, the heart of Brutus earns to think upon.
Caesar, beware of Brutus.
Take heed of Cassius. Come not by Caska. And mark well, Metellus Cimber. Have an eye to Cinna. Decius Brutus loves thee not. Thou hast wronged Caius Ligarius. There is but one mind in all of these men, and it is bent against Caesar. If thou beest not a mortal, look about you. Security gives way to conspiracy. The mighty gods defend thee. Thy lover, Artemidorus. Here will I stand till Caesar pass along, and as a suitor I will give him this. Oh, my heart laments that virtue cannot live out of the teeth of emulation. If thou read this, Caesar, thou mayst live. If not, the fates with traitors do contrive.
The Ides of March are come.
Aye, Caesar, but not gone.
Hail, Caesar, read the schedule.
Trebonius doth desire to read at your best leisure. This is humble suit.
Oh, Caesar, read mine first, for mine's the suit that touches great Caesar near. Read it, Caesar.
What touches us ourselves shall be last served.
Delay not, Caesar, read it instantly.
What, is the fellow mad?
What? Urge your petitions in his house, come to the capital. Your prevention. Brutus, what shall be done? If this be known, Cassius and Caesar never shall return, for I will slay myself!
Cassius, be content. For look, he smiles, and Caesar doth not change.
Oh, look you, Brutus. Mark Antony is now out of our way.
Where is Metellus Cimber? Let her go and presently present her suit to Caesar.
He is addressed. Press near and second him.
Caska, you are the first that rears your hand.
Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his senate must redress?
Most high, most mighty, most puissant Caesar, Metellus Cimber throws before they see a humble heart.
I must prevent thee, Cimber. These couchings and these lowly courtesies might fire the blood of ordinary men, and turn preordinance and first decree into the law of children. Be not fond to think that Caesar bears such rebel blood, that will be thawed from thee true quality with that which melteth fools. I mean, sweet words, low crooked curtsies, and base spaniel fawnings. Thy brother by decree is banished. If thou dost bend, and pray, and fawn for him, I will spurn thee like a cur out of my way. No! Caesar doth not wrong, nor without cause will he be satisfied.
Is there no voice more worthy than my own to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear for the repealing of my banished brother?
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring that his brother Cimber may have an immediate freedom of repeal.
What, Brutus?
Pardon, Caesar, Caesar, pardon. As low as to thy feet doth Cassius fall to beg enfranchisement for our brother Cimber.
I could be well moved if I were as you. If I could pray the move, prayers would move me. But I am constant as the northern star, of whose true fixed and resting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. The skies are painted with unnumbered sparks. They are all fire, and every one doth shine. But there's but one and all doth hold his place. So in the world. 'Tis furnished well with men, and men are flesh and blood and apprehensive. Yet in the number I do know but one, that unassailable hold on his rank unchecked of motion, and that I am he. Let me a little show it. Even in this, that I was constant, Cimber should be banished, and constant do remain to keep him so.
Oh, Caesar.
Hence wilt thou lift up Olympus?
Great Caesar.
Doth not Brutus bootless kneel?
Speak, hands, for me!
Et tu, Brute! Then fall, Caesar.
Ambition's debt is paid.
Go to the pulpit, Brutus.
And Cassius too.
How, Lucius?
Hence, here, quite confounded with this mutiny.
There is no harm intended to your person, nor to no Roman else. So tell them, Lucius. Do so, and let no man abide this deed, but we the doers.
Where's Mark Antony?
Fled to his house amazed. Men, wives, and children stare, cry out, and run as it were doomsday.
Why, he that cuts off 20 years of life cuts off so many years of fear and death.
So are we, Caesar's friends that have ended his time of fearing death. Stoop, Romans, stoop, and let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood, up to the elbows, and besmear our swords. Then walk we even to the marketplace, with our red weapons o'er our heads. Let us all cry, peace, liberty, and freedom!
Stoop then and wash! How many ages hence shall this our lofty scene be acted over, in states unborn and accents yet unknown? So often shall the not of us be called the men that gave their country liberty!
What, shall we forth?
Aye! Every man away. Brutus will lead and we will grace his heels. With the most boldest and best hearts of Rome.
Soft. Someone comes. A friend of Antony's.
Thus, Brutus, did my master bid me kneel. Thus did Mark Antony bid me fall down, and, being prostrate, thus he bade me say, Brutus is noble, wise, valiant, and honest. Caesar is mighty, bold, royal, and loving. Say, I love Brutus, and I honor him. Say, I feared Caesar, honored him, and loved him. If Brutus will vouchsafe that Mark Antony may safely come here, and be love how Caesar had deserved to lie in death, Mark Antony shall not love Caesar dead so well as Brutus living, but will follow the fortunes and affairs of noble Brutus, the road that hazards of his untried state, with all true faith. So says my master.
Thy master is a wise and valiant Roman. I never thought him less. Tell him, so pleasing to come unto this place, and he shall be satisfied, and by my honor depart untouched.
I'll fetch him presently.
I know we shall have him well to friend.
I wish we may, but yet I have a mind that fears him well, and my purpose, myself falls surely to the purpose.
But here comes Mark Antony. Welcome, Mark Antony.
Oh, mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquest, glories, triumphs shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else his rank? If I myself, there is no hour so fit as here by Caesar, nor no instrument of half that worth as those your swords may rich with the most noble blood of all this world. I do beseech you, if you bear me hard now, whilst your purple hands do reek in smoke, fulfill your pleasure. Live 1,000 years. I shall not find myself so apt to die. No place will please me so. No mean of death is here by Caesar, and by you cut off the choice and master spirits of this age.
Oh, Antony, beg not your death of us, though we must appear bloody and cruel as by our hands in this, our present act, you see we do. You see but our hands in this, the bleeding business they have done. Our hearts you see not, they are pitiful. Of brother's temper, we do receive you in with all kind love, good thoughts, and reverence.
Your voice will be as strong as any man's in the disposing of new dignities.
Only be patient till we have appeased the multitude beside themselves with fear, and then we will deliver you the reason why I that did love Caesar when I struck him have thus proceeded.
I doubt not of your wisdom. Let each man render me his bloody hand. First, Marcus Brutus, will I shake with you. Next, Caius Cassius, do I take your hand. Now,
Decius Brutus, yours. Now yours, Metellus. And now my valiant Caska, yours. Cinna, yours. And good Trebonius, yours. Gentlemen all, alas, what shall I say? My credit now stands on such slippery ground that one of two bad ways you must conceit me. Either a coward or a flatterer, but I did love thee, Caesar, oh, 'tis true. If then thy spirit look upon us now, shall it not grieve thee dearer than thy death, to see thy Antony making his peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes most noble, in the presence of thy corpse? Pardon me, Julius. Here was thou bade, brave heart. Here didst thou fall, and here thy hunter stands, signed in thy spoil and crimsoned in thy lethe. O world, thou wast the force to this heart, and this indeed, O world, the heart of thee. How like a deer strucken by many princesses dost thou here lie.
Mark Antony,
Pardon me, Cassius.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so, but what compact mean you to have with us? Will you be pricked in the number of our friends, or shall we on and not depend on you?
Therefore I took your hands, but was indeed swayed from the point by looking down on Caesar. Friends, am I with you all and love you all upon this hope that you will give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous?
Else were this a savage spectacle. Our reasons are so full of good regard that were you, Antony, the son of Caesar, you should be satisfied.
That's all I seek, and am moreover a suitor that I may produce his body to the marketplace, and in the pulpit as becomes a friend speak in the order of his funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word? You know not what you do. Do not consent Antony speak at his funeral. Know you how much you people may be moved by that which you will utter?
By your pardon, I will myself into the pulpit first, and give and show reason of our Caesar's death. But Mark Antony shall speak, I will protest he speaks by leave and by permission, and that we are contented that Caesar shall receive all true rites and lawful ceremonies. It shall advantage more than do us wrong.
I know not what may fall, I like it not.
Mark Antony, here, take you Caesar's body. You shall not, in your funeral speech, blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar, and say you do it by our permission. Else, shall you not have any hand at all about his funeral? And you shall speak into the same pulpit whereto I am going after my speech is ended.
Be it so. I do desire no more.
Prepare the body then, and follow us.
Oh, pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in the tide of times. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood! Over thy wounds now do I prophesy, which like dumb mouths do ope their ruby lips to beg the voice and utterance of my tongue. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall come from all parts of Italy. Blood and destruction shall be so in use that mothers shall smile when they but behold their infants quartered with the hands of war. All pity choked with custom of fell deeds, and Caesar's spirit ranging for revenge with Ate by his side, come hot from hell, shall in these confines with a monarch's voice cry, "Hurry back, and let's slap the dogs of war!" That this foul deed shall smell above the earth with carrion and groaning for burial. You serve Octavius Caesar, do you not?
I do, Mark Antony.
Caesar did write for him to come to Rome.
He did receive his letters in his coming, and bid me say to you by word of mouth. Oh! Caesar!
Thy heart is big, yet thee apart and weep. The passion I see is catching for mine eyes, seeing those beads of sorrow stand in thine. Is thy master coming?
He lies tonight within 7 leagues of Rome.
Post back with speed and tell him what hath chanced. Here is a morning Rome, a dangerous Rome, no Rome of safety for Octavius yet. Thou shalt not back till I have borne this corpse into the marketplace. There shall I try, in my oration, how the cruel people take this issue of these bloody men, according to which thou shalt discourse to young Octavius of the state of things. Lend me your hand.
We will be satisfied!
Then follow me and give me audience. Those that will hear me speak, stay here, and public reason shall be rendered of Caesar's death.
I will hear Brutus speak! The noble Brutus is ascended. Silence!
Romans, countrymen, and lovers, hear me for my cause, and be silent that you may hear. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar, to him I say that Brutus's love was no less than his. Ha! If that friend then demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more.
Rome!
Would you rather Caesar were living and die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead to live all freemen? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There is tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base that would be a bondman? If any speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so rude that would not be a Roman? If any speak, for him have I offended. And who is here so vile that would not love his country? If any speak, for him have I offended. I pause for reply.
No! Brutus, no!
Then none have I offended. Here comes his body, mourned by Mark Antony, who, though he had no part in his death, shall receive the full benefit of his dying, a place in the commonwealth, as which of you shall not? With this, I depart, and as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger here for myself, when my country so needs my dying.
Live, Brutus! Live! Live! Bring him with triumph home unto his house.
Give him a statue with his ancestors.
Let him
Be Caesar. Caesar's better part shall be crowned in Brutus.
We'll bring him to his house with
My countrymen! My countrymen!
Peace. Brutus speaks.
Good countrymen, I pray, let me depart alone and stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse and grace his speech with your presence. Do tending to Caesar's glories. I do entreat you, not a man depart, but I alone, till after Antony has spoken.
Stay home and let us hear Mark Antony.
Let him go up into the public chair.
We'll hear
him.
Go on.
Noble Antony, go up.
For Brutus' sake, I am beholding to you.
What does he say of Brutus?
He says for Brutus' sake he finds himself beholding to us all.
Oh, twere best he speak no harm of Brutus here.
This Caesar was a tyrant.
That's certain. We are blessed that Rome is rid of him.
Peace. Let us hear what Antony can say.
You gentle Romans.
Peace ho, let us hear him.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I have come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones, so let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest. For Brutus was an honorable man. So are they all honorable men. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor hath cried, Caesar hath wept, ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak of what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. But what cause withholds you then to mourn for him? O judgment! Thou art fled to brutish beast, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause until it come back to me.
Methinks there is much reason in his sayings.
If thou consider rightly of the matter, Caesar has had great wrong.
Has he, Master? I fear that one will worse come in his place.
Mark to his words, who would not take the crown, therefore 'tis certain he was not ambitious.
If he found so, some will deride it.
Poor soul, his eyes are red as fire with weeping.
There's not a nobler man in Rome than Antony.
Now mark you, he begins again to say.
But yesterday the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he there, and none so poor to do him reverence. O masters, if I was disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and revenge, I would do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men. I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you, than I will wrong such honorable men. But here's a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet, 'tis his will, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read. Let but the commons hear this testament. And they would go and kiss at Caesar's wounds, and dip their napkins in his sacred blood, yea, beg a hair of him for memory, and dying mention it within their wills, bequeathing it as a rich legacy unto their issue.
The will, hear the will. Read it, Mark Antony.
The will! The will! We will hear Caesar's will!
Good friends, sweet friends, I must not read it. It is not me to know how Caesar loved you. You are not wood, you are not stones, but men. And being men, hearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you, it will make you mad. I have overshot myself to tell you that I fear I wrong the honorable men whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it.
They were traitors, honorable men.
You shall read us the will! Caesar's will!
No, I do fear it. For if you should know that you are his heirs, oh, what would come of it?
Read the will! We'll hear it, Antony!
They were villains and murderers. Just read the will.
You will compel me then to read the will? Then make a ring about the corpse of Caesar, and let me show you him that made the will. Shall I descend, and will you give me leave?
Come down.
Come down.
Descend.
You shall have leave.
Hurry, stand around.
Stand from the horse. Stand from the body.
My friend Antony, most noble Antony.
Nay, press not upon me. Stand far off.
Stand back, room. Bear back.
Stand back.
If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle. I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. 'Twas on a summer's evening in his tent. That day he overcame the Nervii. Look in This place ran Cassius' dagger through. See what a rent envious Caska made? Through this the well-beloved Brutus stabbed, and as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it, as rushing out of the doors to be resolved. If Brutus so unkindly knocked or no, who you all know was Caesar's angel. Judge, oh you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all. For when the noble Caesar saw him stab, in gratitude, more strong than traitor's arms, quite vanquished him. Then burst his mighty heart open, and in a mantle, muffling up his face, even at the base of Pompey's statue, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall was there, my countrymen. Then I, and you, and all of us fell down. Oh, now you weep. Kind souls, what weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? Look you here. Here is himself, marred as you see with traitors.
Oh, piteous spectacle!
Most noble Caesar!
Oh, woeful day!
Oh, traitors, villains!
Oh, most bloody sight!
We will be revenged!
Revenge!
Revenge!
Fire! Fire!
Stay, countrymen!
Peace there and hear the noble Antony!
We'll hear him! We'll follow him! We'll die with him!
Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. I come not, friends, to steal your hearts away. I am no orator as Brutus is, but as you know me all well, a plain, blunt man that loved my friend, that they gave me public leave to speak of him. For I have neither wit, nor words, nor worth, nor action, nor utterance, nor the power of speech to stir men's blood. I only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourselves do know, show you sweet Caesar's wounds, poor dumb mouths, and bid them to speak for me. For were there a Brutus, and a Brutus Antony, there would be an Antony that would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue on every Caesar's wounds, that should move the stones to rise and mutiny.
Mutiny will burn the house of Brutus!
Witness! Come, see the conspirators!
Yet hear me, countrymen, yet hear me speak.
Be so here, Antony,
Most noble Antony, speak!
Why, friends, you go to do you know not what, wherein has Caesar thus deserved your loves? Alas, you know not what? I must tell you then. You forgot the will I told you of.
That's true. The will!
Let's stay and hear the will.
Here is the will, under Caesar's seal. To every Roman citizen he gives, to every several man, 75 drachmas.
We'll revenge his death!
Oh, royal Caesar.
Hear me with patience.
Caesar.
Moreover, he hath left you all of his walks, his private arbors, new planted orchards on this side of Tiber. He hath left them you and to your heirs forever. Common pleasures to walk abroad and recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar. When comes such another?
Never. Never. Then come. Away, away. We'll burn his body in the holy place and with the brands fire the traitors' houses. Take up the body.
Go fetch fire.
Knock down benches, knock down doors, windows, anything.
Now let it work. Mischief, thou art afoot. Take thou course thou wilt. How now, fellow?
Sir, Octavius has already come to Rome.
Where is he?
He and Lepidus are at Caesar's house.
Oh! And thither will I straight to visit him. He comes upon a wish. Fortune is merry, and in this mood, it will bring us anything.
I heard him say Brutus and Cassius are rid like madmen through the gates of Rome.
Belike they had some notice of the people, how I moved them. Bring me to Octavius.
tonight that I did feast with Caesar, and things unluckily charge my fantasy. I have no will to wander forth of doors, yet something leads me forth.
What's your name?
Whither are you going?
Where do you dwell?
Are you a married man or a bachelor?
Answer every man directly.
Aye, and briefly.
Aye, and wisely.
I and truly, you were best.
What is my name? Where am I going? Whither do I dwell? Am I a married man or a bachelor? Then to answer every man, directly and briefly, wisely and truly. Wisely, I say, I am a bachelor.
That's as much as to say they are fools that marry. You'll bear me a bang for that, I fear. Proceed directly.
Directly, I am going to Caesar's funeral.
As a friend or an enemy?
As a friend.
That matters answer directly.
For your dwelling, briefly.
Briefly, I dwell by the Capitol.
Your name, sir. Truly.
Truly, my name is Cinna.
Tear him to pieces! He's the conspirator!
I am Cinna-the-poet. I am Cinna-the-poet.
Tear him for his bad verses.
Tear him for his bad verses.
No,
I am not Cinna the conspirator.
'Tis no matter, his name's Cinna. Pluck but his name from his heart and turn him going.
Tear him!
No. Tear him! Tear him!
Briggs! Fire, Briggs!
These many then shall die. Look, with a spot, he shall not live.
Your brother too must die. Consent you, Lepidus?
I do consent.
Prick him down, Antony.
Upon condition, Publius shall not live, who is your sister's son, Mark Antony.
He shall not live. Look, with a spot, I damn him. But Lepidus, get thee from Caesar's house, fetch the will hither, and we shall determine how to cut off some charge and legacies.
What, shall I find you here?
Or here, or at the Capitol.
This is a slight, unmeritable man, meet to be sent on errands. Is it fit the threefold world divided he should stand one of the three to share it?
So you thought him, and took his voice who should be pricked to die in our black sentence and prescription.
Octavius, I have seen more days than you. And though we lay these honors on this man, to ease ourselves of diverse slanderous loads, he shall but bear them as the ass bears gold, to groan and sweat under the business, either led or driven as we point the way.
You may do your will, but he's a tried and valiant soldier.
So is my horse, Octavius, and for that I appoint him store of provender. Do not talk of him, but as property. And now, Octavius, listen great things. Brutus and Cassius are levying powers, therefore let our alliances be combined. Our best friends made, our means stretched. Let us go presently sit in council. How covert matters may be best disclosed, and open peril surest answer it.
Let us do so, for we are at the stake, invade about with many enemies, and some that have miles in their hearts, I fear millions in mischiefs.
Give the word how it stands.
What now, Lucilius? Is Cassius near?
She is at hand, and Decius has come to do you salutation from his woman.
She greets me well. Your woman, Decius, by her own change or by ill officers, hath given me worthy cause to wish things done undone. But if she be at hand, I shall be satisfied.
I do not doubt but that my noble woman will appear such as she is, full of regard and honor.
She is not doubted. A word, Lucilius? How hath she received you? Let me be resolved.
With courtesy and respect enough, but not with such familiar instances, nor with such free and friendly conference as she used to use.
Thou hast described a hot friend coolly. Ever know, Lucilius, when love begins to sicken and decay, it useth an enforced ceremony. Hark, she has arrived. March gently on to greet her.
Stand who?
Stand! Speak the word along.
Stand!
Stand!
Most noble brother, you have done me wrong.
Judge me, you gods! Wrong I my enemies, and if not so, how may I wrong your sister?
Brutus, this sober form of yours hides wrongs, and when you do this—
Cassius, be content. Speak your grief softly. I do know you well. Before the eyes of both of our armies, which should receive nothing but love from us. Let us not wrangle. Bid them move away. Then in my tent enlarge your griefs, and I will give you audience. Let none enter our tent till we have done our conference. Let Lucilius and Titinius guard our tent.
that you have wronged me doth appear in this. You have condemned and noted Lucius Pella for taking bribes here of the Sardians, wherein my letters praying on his side, because I knew the man was slighted off.
Let me tell you, you yourself, Cassius, are much condemned to an itching palm, to sell and march your offices for gold to undeservers.
I, an itching palm. You know that you are Brutus that speaks this, or by the gods this speech were else your last.
The name Cassius honors this corruption, and chastisement doth therefore hide her head.
Chastisement?
Remember March. The Ides of March, remember. Did not great Julius bleed for justice' sake? What villain touched his hand that did stab and not for justice? What? Shall one of us that struck the foremost man of all this world before supporting robbers, shall we now contaminate our fingers with base bribes for the selling of our mighty office for such large honors as may be grasped thus? I'd rather be a dog and bathe the moon than such a Roman.
Brutus, beg me not. I'll not endure it. You forget yourself to hedge me in. I'm a soldier. I older and abler in practice than yourself to make conditions.
Go to. You are not Cassius.
I am!
I say you are not.
Urge me no more. I shall forget myself. Have mine upon your help. Tempt me no further.
Away, slight cur.
Is it possible?
Hear me, for I will speak. Must I give way and room to your rash choler? Should I be frighted when a madman stares?
Oh, you gods! You gods, must I endure all this?
All this I. More. Fret till your proud heart break. You shall digest the venom of your spilling, though it do split you. For from this day forth, I will use you for my mirth, yea, for my laughter when you are waspish.
You wrong me, Brutus. You wrong me every way. When Caesar lived, he durst not thus have moved me.
Peace, peace. You durst not so have tempted him.
I durst not. Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that I am sorry for.
You've done that you should be sorry for! There is no terror in your threats, Cassius. For I am so armed in honesty that they pass me by like the idle wind, which I respect not. I did send to you for certain sums of gold which you denied me. For I can raise no money by vile means. By heaven, I'd rather coin my heart and drop my blood for drachmas than to wring from the hard hand of peasants their vile trash, by any indirection. I did send to you for gold to pay my legions which you denied me. Was that done like Cassius? Should I have answered Caius Cassius so? When Marcus Brutus grows so covetous to lock such rascal counters from his friends, be ready, gods, with all your thunderbolts, dash him to pieces.
I denied you not.
You did.
I did not. He was but a fool that brought my answer back. Brutus had rived my heart. A friend should bear his friend's infirmities, but Brutus makes mine greater than they are.
I do not till you practice them on me.
You love me not.
I do not like your faults.
The friendly eye could never see such faults.
Flatterers would not, though they do appear as huge as high Olympus.
Oh, come, Antony, and young Octavius, come! Revenge yourselves alone on Cassius, for Cassius is weary of the world, hated by the one she loves, braved by her brother, all her faults observed, set in a notebook, learned and conned by rote to cast into my teeth. Oh, I can weep. I, that denied thee gold, will give my heart. Strike, as thou didst to Caesar, for I know when thou lovest him. For I know when thou hatest him worse, thou lovest him better than thou ever lovest Cassius.
Sheathe your dagger. Cassius, you are yoked with a lamb who carries anger as the flint bears fire, who much enforced shows a hasty spark and straight is cold again.
If Cassius lived to be but mirth and laughter to her Brutus, when grief and blood ill-tempered vexed her.
When I spoke that, I was ill-tempered too.
Do you confess so much? Give me your hand.
My heart too. What's the matter?
Have you not love enough to bear with me when that rash humor which my mother gave me makes me forgetful?
Yes, Cassius, and when you, from henceforth, when you are over earnest with your Brutus, he'll think your mother chide so and leave you so. Lucilius and Decius! Bid the commanders prepare to lodge their companies tonight.
And along yourselves and bring Messala with you immediately to us.
Lucius, bowl of wine.
I did not think you could get so angry.
Cassius, I am sick with many griefs. No man bears sorrow better. Portia is dead.
Portia,
She is dead.
how escaped I a killing when I crossed you so insufferable and on what sickness?
Patient of my absence, and grief that young Octavius with Mark Antony have grown themselves so strong. For with her death that tidings came. With her distract, see, her attendants absent, swallowed fire.
And died so?
Speak no more of her. Give me a bowl of wine. In this, I bury all unkindness, Cassius.
My heart is thirsty for that noble pledge. Fill, Lucius, to the cup overswelled with wine. I cannot drink too much of Brutus's love.
Come and welcome Messala hence. Now, sit we close about this taper here and call into necessities.
Portia.
Speak no more, I pray you. Messala, I have here received letters that young Octavius with Mark Antony come down upon us with a mighty power, bending their expedition toward Philippi.
Myself have letters of the same tenor.
With what addition?
That by prescription and bills of outlawry, Octavius, Antony, and Lepidus have put to death 100 senators. And by that order of prescription. Had you your letters from your wife, my lord?
No, Messala.
Nor anything in your letters written of her.
Nothing, Messala.
That methinks is strange.
Why ask you? Hear you aught of her in yours?
No, my lord.
Now, as you are a Roman, speak true.
Then as a Roman, bear the truth I tell. For certain she is dead, and by strange manner.
By farewell, Portia. We all must die, Messala. With meditating, she have only died once. I have the patience to endure it now.
Even so, great men, great losses should endure.
Well, to our work alive. What do you think of marching on Philippi presently?
I do not think it good.
Your reasons.
This it is. 'Tis better the enemy seek us, so shall he waste his means, weary his soldiers, doing himself offense, whilst we, lying still, are full of rest, defense, and nimbleness.
Good reason must of force give place to better.
Good brother, hear
Our
me.
legions are brim full. Our cause is ripe. Our enemy increaseth every day. We, at the height, are set to decline. There is a tide in the affairs of men, which taken at the flood, leads on to fortune. On such a full seat are we now afloat, and we must take the current when it serves, or lose our ventures.
We along ourselves and meet you at Philippi.
The deep of night is crept upon our talk.
Early tomorrow we'll rise in hence.
Farewell, good Messala. A noble Cassius. Good night, and good repose.
Oh, dear Brutus. This was an ill beginning of the night. Never let such division come between our souls, Brutus. Let it not.
Everything is well.
Good night, my lord.
Lucius! Where's thy instrument?
Here at the tent.
But thou speakst drowsily. I blame thee not. Thou art overwatched. Go and call some of my men or Messala, and I'll have them sleep on cushions in my tent.
Messala?
Pause, my lord.
I pray you, sir, lie in my tent and sleep. It may be I shall call you by and by on some business to my sister Cassius.
So please you, I shall stand and watch your pleasure.
I will not have it so. Lie down, good sir. Oh, look, Lucius. Here is the book I sought for so. I found it in the pocket of my gown.
I was sure your lordship did not give it me.
Bear with me, good boy, I am much forgetful. Canst thou hold up thy heavy eyes a while, and play thy instrument a strain or two?
It is my duty, sir.
I should not urge thy duty past thy might. I know young bloods look for a time of rest.
I have slept, my lord, already.
'Tis well done, and thou shalt sleep again. I will not keep thee long. But if I do live, I will be good to thee. This is a sleepy tune. Murderous slumber. Lay'st thou thy leaden mace on my boy that plays thee music? Gentle knave, good night. I will not do thee so much wrong to wake thee. If thou dost nod, thou breakst thy instrument. Take it from thee, and good boy, good night. Let me see. It's not the leaf turned down where I left reading. Here it is, I think. ill this taper burns. Huh! Who comes here?
It is the weakness of my eyes that shapes this monstrous apparition.
What? Art thou some thing? Art thou some god or some angel or some devil that makes my blood cold and my hair to stare? Speak to me what thou art!
Evil spirit, Brutus.
Why comest thou?
To tell thee thou shalt see me at Philippi.
Why? I shall see thee again.
I at Philippi.
Well, I shall see thee at Philippi then. I have taken heart. Thou vanishest. Ill spirit! I would have more talk with thee! Lucius, awake! Messala, awake! Sir, awake! Messala!
Then knows my lord are false.
He thinks he's still at his instruments. Lucius, awake!
Yes, my lord.
Didst thou dream that thou didst so cried out?
I do not know that I did cry.
Yes, thou didst. Didst thou see anything?
Nothing, my lord.
Saw you anything?
No, my lord, I saw nothing.
Go, and commend me to my sister Cassius. Bid her set on her powers before betimes, and we will follow.
I shall be done, my lord.
Oh, Antony! I see our prayers are answered. You said the enemy would not come down to stick to the hills and upper regions. It proves not so. Their battles are at hand. They mean to warn us at Philippi here, answering before we do demand of them.
Tut! I am in their bosom. I know wherefore they do it. They must be content to visit other places and come down with fearful bravery, thinking by this face that they have the courage, but 'tis not so.
Prepare your generals. The enemy comes on in gallant show. The bloody sign of battle is hung out, and something to be done immediately.
Octavius, lead your battle softly upon the left hand of the even field.
Upon the right hand, I keep thou the
Why do you cross me in this exigent?
I do not cross you, but I will do so.
They stand and would have parley.
Stand fast, Decius, we must out and speak.
Mark Antony shall I give sign of battle.
No, Caesar, we will answer on their charge. Make forth. The generals would have some answer.
Stir not until the signal.
Words before blows, is it so, countrymen?
Oh, not that we love words better as you do.
Good words are better than bad strokes, Octavius.
In your bad strokes, Brutus, you give good words. Witness the hole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, "Long live, hail Caesar!"
Antony, the posture of your blows are yet unknown before your words. They rob the hive bees and leave them honeyless.
Not stingless too?
Aye, and soundless. For you have stolen their buzzing, Antony. And you very wisely threat before you sting.
Villains! You did not so when your vile daggers hacked one another in the sides of Caesar. You showed your teeth like apes, fawned like hounds, and bowed like bondmen, kissing Caesar's feet, while damned Caska like a cur behind struck Caesar on the neck. Oh, you flatterers.
Flatterers! Oh, thank yourself, Brutus. This tongue had not offended so today. Had Cassius, my
Come the cause. If arguing makes us sweat, the proof of it will turn to redder drops. Look, I draw a sword against conspirators. When think you that the sword goes up again? Never, till Caesar's 33 wounds be well avenged! Ha! Or until another Caesar have added slaughter
on the sword of traitor.
Ah, Caesar, thou canst not die by traitors' hands, unless thou bringst them with thee.
Oh, I do hope so. I was not born to die on Brutus' sword.
If thou wert the noblest of thy strain, young man, thou couldst not die more honorably.
Peevish schoolboy, joined with a masker and a reveler.
Oh, Cassius, down!
No! Come, Antony, away! Defiant traitors, hurl me in your teeth! If you dare fight today, come to the field! If not, when you have stomachs!
Ho! My soldier's heart, a word with you!
Titinius!
What says my general?
Titinius, this is my birthday, as this very day was Cassius born. Give me thy hand, Titinius. Coming from Sardis, on our former ensign, 2 mighty eagles fell, and they perched, gorging and feeding from our soldiers' hands, who to Philippi here consorted us. This morning they are fled away and gone, and in their steads do ravens, crows, and kites fly on their heads and downward look at us as we were sickly prey. Their shadows seem the canopy most fatal under which our armies lie, ready to give up the ghost.
Believe not so.
I but believe it so, for I am fresh of spirit and resolved to meet all perils.
Even so, Lucilius.
Now, most noble Brutus, let us reason with the worst that may befall. If we do lose this battle, then is this the last time we shall speak again? What are you then determined to do?
Even by rule of that philosophy of death, the kind which one does give himself. I do not know, I find it cowardly and vile, for fear of what may befall. I'd rather arm myself with patience, to stay the providence of some high powers that govern us below.
And if we do lose this battle, are you contented to be led in triumph through the streets of Rome?
No, Cassius, no. Think not that Brutus will ever go bound to Rome. He bears too great a mind. But this same day must end the work the Ides of March begun. And if we shall meet again, I know not. Therefore our everlasting farewell take. Forever and forever farewell, Cassius. If we meet again, why then we shall smile. If not, why then this parting was well made.
Farewell, Brutus. If we meet again, we'll smile indeed. If not, 'tis true. This parting was well made.
Why then, lead on.
Ride! Ride, Messala! Ride! Unto the legions on the other side, let them set on, for I do perceive but cold demeanor on Octavius' wing, and sudden push will give them the overthrow. Ride! Ride, Messala! Let them all come down!
Cassius! Brutus gave the word too early, who having some advantage on Octavius took it too eagerly. His soldiers fell to spoil, whilst we by Antony are all enclosed.
Fly further off, my love, fly further off. Mark Antony's in your tents, my love. Fly therefore, noble Cassius, fly far off.
This hill is far enough. Titinius, are those my tents where I do perceive the fire?
They are, my lord.
Titinius, if thou lovest me, mount down my horse, Titinius, and hide thy spurs in him, till he have brought me up to yonder troops and here again, that I may know whether yon troops are friends or enemies.
I will come again, even with a thought.
Go, Decius. Go, get higher on that hill. My sight was ever thick. Regard Titinius and tell me what thou knowest about the field. This day I breathe it first. Time is come round, and where I did begin, there shall I end. My life has run its compass. My love, what news?
Oh, my love. Decius is enclosed and round about with horsemen that make him on the spur. Then he spurs on. Now they're almost on him. Now some light. Oh, he lies too. He's taken. Oh, and our shout for joy.
Behold no more. Oh, fool that I am to see my best friend ta'en before my face. Come hither, my love. In Parthia did I take thee to husband, and swore thee the saving of thy life, that whatsoever I did bid thee do, thou shouldst attempt. Come now, keep thine oath. Now with this sword that ran through Caesar's bowels, search my bosom. Stand not to answer. Take thou the hilts, and when my face is covered as 'tis, guide thou the sword. Caesar, no, be still. Even with the sword.
Now you are free, my love. Thus I have done my will. O Cassius, far from this country, Decius shall run where never a Roman shall find him. It is but change, Titinius. Octavius is overthrown by noble Brutus's power, as Cassius's legions are by Antony.
These tidings will well comfort Cassius.
Where did you leave her?
All disconsolate with Decius, her husband, on this hill.
Is not that she that lies upon the ground?
She lies not like the living. Oh, my heart.
Is not that she?
No. Messala, this was she. But Cassius is no more. O setting sun, as in thy red rays thou dost sing tonight, so in her red blood Cassius' day is set. The sun of Rome is set. Our day is gone. Clouds, dews, and dangers come. Our deeds are done. Mistrust of my success hath done this deed.
Mistrust of good success hath done this deed. O hateful error, melancholy's child, why dost thou show to the apt thoughts of men things that are not? O error, soon conceived, thou never comest unto a happy birth, but killst the mother that engendered thee.
What, Decius? Where art thou, Decius?
Seek him, Titinius, whilst I go to meet the noble Brutus, thrusting his report into his ears. I may say thrusting it, for piercing steel and darts envenomed shall be as welcome to the ears of Brutus as tidings of this sight.
Are you, Messala? And I will seek for Decius the while. Why didst thou send me forth, brave Cassius? Did I not meet thy friends? And did not they put on my brows this wreath of victory and bid me give it thee? Didst thou not hear their shouts? Alack, thou hast misconstrued everything. But hold thee, take this garland on thy brow. Thy Brutus bid me give it thee, and I will do his bidding. Brutus, come apace, and see how I regarded Caius Cassius. By your leave, gods, this is a Roman's part. Come, Cassius' sword, and find Tarquinius' heart.
Where Messala does the body lie? Lo, yonder! Decius warning him.
Decius' face is upward.
He is slain.
Oh, Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet. Thy spirit walks abroad and turns our swords into our proper entrails.
Brave Titinius. And look wherever he have crowned dead Cassius.
Are yet two Romans living such as these? Last of all the Romans, fare thee well. It is impossible that Rome should ever breed thy fellow. Friend, I owe more tears to this dead friend than you shall see me pay. I shall find time, Cassius. I shall find time. Come. And therefore to Thasso's cinder body, her funeral shall not be in our camp lest it discomfort us. To the fields! It is yet 3 o'clock, and Romans, yet ere night, we shall try fortune in a second fight. Ah! Ha! 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 Ah! Ah! Ah!
And I am Brutus, Marcus Brutus I. Brutus, my country's friend. Know me for Brutus.
Yield, or thou diest.
I only yield to die. There is so much that thou wilt kill me straight. Kill me and be honored in Brutus's death.
We must not. A noble prisoner.
Room ho! Tell Antony Brutus is taken!
I'll tell her this. Here comes the general. Brutus is taken.
Where is
taken, my lord?
Safe. Antony Brutus is safe enough. I dare assure thee that no enemy will ever take alive the noble Brutus. The gods defend him from so great a shame. When you do find him, or alive or dead, he will be found like Brutus. Himself.
This is not Brutus, friends. But I assure you a prize no less than worth. Keep this man safe. Give him all kindness. I'd rather have such men, my friends, than enemies. Go on, and see where Brutus be alive or dead, and bring word unto Octavius' tent how everything is chanced.
Come, poor remains of friends. Rest upon this rock.
Tilius showed the torchlight, but my lord, he came not back. He is ordained or slain.
Sit thee down, Clitus. Slaying is the word. It is a deed in fashion. Hark thee, Clitus.
What? I, my lord. No! Not for all the world.
Peace. No words, then.
I'll rather kill myself.
Clitus, what ill request did Brutus make of thee?
To kill him, Volumnius. Hearken now. Now is that noble vessel full of grief that it runs over even at his eyes.
Good Volumnius, come hither. List a word.
What says, my lord?
Why this, Volumnius? The ghost of Caesar hath appeared to me several times by night. At Sardis once,
And this last night here at Philippi Fields. I know my time has come.
No, that's so, my lord.
Nay, I'm sure it is. Thou seest the world, Volumnius, how it goes. Our enemies have beat us to the pip. It's better to throw ourselves in than to tarry till they push us. Good Volumnius, thou knowest we two went to school together. Even by that our love of old, I prithee, hold then my sword hilts whilst I run upon it.
That is not the office of a friend, my lord.
Fly! Fly, my lord, fly! There's no tarrying here!
Farewell to you, and to you, Volumnius, my countrymen. My heart doth joy that yet in all my life I found no man but he was true to me. So fare you well at once. For Brutus's tongue hath almost ended his life's history. Night hangs on my eyes. My legs have labored long to attain this hour, and would rest.
Fly, my lord, fly!
Hence, I will follow. Lucius, I prithee, stay thou by thy lord. Thou art a fellow of a good respect. Thy life hath had some smatch of honor in it. Hold my sword, and turn away thy face, while I do run upon it. Wilt thou, Lucius?
Give me first your hand. Fare you well, my lord.
Farewell, Lucius. Caesar, be still now. I killed not thee with half so good a will.
What man is that?
My master's man! Lucius, where's thy master?
Free from the bondage you are in, Messala. The conquerors can make but a fire of him. For Brutus only overcame himself, and no man else hath honor by his death.
So he should be found. I thank thee, Brutus, that thou hast proved Lucilius is saying true.
Any man who served Brutus, I will entertain them.
How died my master Lucius?
I held the sword, and he did run on it.
Octavius, then take him to follow thee that did the latest service to my master.
This was the noblest Roman of them all. All the conspirators, save only he, did that they did in envy of great Caesar. He, only in a general honest thought and common good to all made one of them. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man.
According to his virtue, let us use him, with all rights and respect of burial. Within my tent his bones tonight shall lie, most like a soldier, ordered honorably. So let's away, and call the field to rest, and let's away to part the glories of this happy day. Ha!
Ha! End of show.
Actually, Caesar, can you be inside of Lucius? Great. Great. Decius, can you be inside? Oh yeah, Portia, and then Decius, and then Caska, and then Artemidorus. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Octavius Caesar, can you be in front of Calphurnia? Okay, great. All right. Starting with Messala. Other side. Yes. Yay. Yes. And back to. Yes. Audience. Really appreciate your you're very positive and also helped us figure out a lot of these transitions. So been much appreciated. All right. Please leave us.